guys, Bree here at Bree Music, and I'm ready to film another quick video for you to show you a simple thing you can do on your guitar. If you're a parent, you can teach this to your kids. So hopefully this will help you guys start making music, and stick around for the end. I'll explain 2 different free things you can take advantage of too. After this video, you can download a couple of workbooks, and there's also a few more free videos you can watch if you like what you see here and you want to learn more. So without further ado, I'm going to show you, well, okay, I was going to say 2 chords. I'm going to show you 1 chord. It's a G chord, but I'm going to show you a mini version and the full version. The reason being, a G chord looks like this. And a lot of times, having a kid put, in my experience with teaching all my new students, having a kid put all 3 of those fingers stretched really far across the fretboard is a big challenge, especially at first. They're like, my fingers aren't long enough, I can't do that big stretch, and it's really hard to hold 3 fingers down at the same time, and it's a lot to keep track of. So I'm going to show you a mini G chord that you can start with, and this is what I do with my students. I give them a 1-finger G chord, and then once they've mastered that, once they can play this, that's a mini G. Once they can play that, then we add on 2 more fingers and do that big stretch and get all of it together. So, first things first, this is your first string, the one closest to the floor. All you have to do is take your 3rd finger. We don't count the thumb because the thumb is behind the guitar neck while you play. So you take your 3rd finger, 1, 2, 3, 4, take that 3rd finger, put it on the 3rd fret. These little pieces of the guitar neck are called the frets. Again, free things at the end of the video. There's a couple workbooks. That workbook will explain guitar anatomy. If you're new to guitar, don't know what everything's called yet, it's in the workbook. But take your 3rd finger, place it on the 3rd fret, so you want it to be just before that wire fret on the fretboard, and just press the string as hard as you can. The harder you press, the clearer the note. So press there, and then you can strum string 1, string 2, string 3, and string 4. And because we're not putting any fingers on these lower strings, on string 5 and string 6, don't strum those 2. Make sure when you play the chord that it's only these 4 strings. So your first string, of course, you're fretting because you're pressing the fret over here with your finger, which changes the sound from this to this. So that one's all covered. These 3, the 2nd string, the 3rd string, and the 4th string, are open, which means don't press any frets. And that's your mini G chord. So teach that to your kid and get them practicing that 1-finger G. When it's really comfortable, they can get there quickly, they know what it's called, they can do the strumming, they know which strings to strum, it's not overwhelming. Then the full G chord, you keep that same finger on that same fret, which is why it's important that when you teach the mini G to them, you have them use this 3rd finger. If you have them use the 1st finger, it's going to defeat the entire purpose. You know, you want to make sure you're using that correct finger, so later when you do the full G, your other fingers can be used to press the correct frets also. So you have that same fret, make your mini G chord. So when you're teaching the full G, tell your kid, play the G chord that you know. They'll play it like this, and then have them add their 2nd finger, that's the middle finger, onto the 6th string, which is the one closest to your nose, on the 3rd fret. So now you have these 2 fingers that are stacked, same fret, but opposite strings, 1st string and 6th string. And then your index finger goes on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, which is the one right below this lowest string. So that's a full G. And now because you're fretting these 2 lowest strings, you can strum the whole thing. All 6 strings are covered like they should be. And you'll notice your mini G chord is included inside of here. If you take these 2 fingers off and just ignore these 2 strings, you have open, 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 3rd fret. So that mini G chord is inside of the full G. Cool, so mini G, 1 finger, pretty easy. Regular G, which is the one that if your child wants to play guitar, if you want to play guitar with them, if you guys are trying to learn, you definitely want that big whole G when you go to a music jam or you're playing with friends or you start accumulating more chords in your chord vocabulary that you know, and you know you're playing chord songs, you definitely want to be able to include that whole G chord. So start out with the mini, get them nice and comfortable and confident, and then add on those 2 other fingers. Now for the free things, the first one is just a 1-page worksheet that will give you the chord graph for both mini G and full G. So you'll see it on the page. It'll show you what a chord graph looks like and show you where to put your fingers and what strings to play and all of that. And the worksheet will also tell you how to read a chord graph. So if you've never seen one before and you're like, what's a chord? How do I read it on a page? What do I do with this graph? That'll be on the worksheet also. And then in addition to showing you the chords, in case, you know, it helps to see it on paper instead of just the video, that free worksheet download will also give you some strumming patterns, such as so if you're not familiar with strumming yet and you're like, okay, she showed me what to do with this hand, I have the chord down, I can do this, what do I do with the other hand? Get the free worksheet and it'll give you some strumming patterns to start out with so you can start making it sound good. And then one extra cool bonus about the worksheet is, since you'll know how to read chord graphs and you'll know some basic strumming patterns, you can start learning other chords, because you can find resources online, or if you have a guitar book, or if you end up using more of my resources, you'll find those chord graphs and you'll be like, oh, I know how to read this, now I have the tools I need to learn more chords. So that's a good perk too. Be sure to get that free worksheet. And then one more thing, if you liked working with this chord, I'm creating a guitar course. It's a beginning guitar course. It doesn't matter if you've never touched a guitar, don't know anything about it, and don't feel equipped to teach it. The goal is it's for parents and kids, so you can do it together as a family. And I will teach you what you need to know to get your kids started on guitar, and it's a complete course that should last you, I mean, it's go at your own pace, so it's very casual, but it could last, 2 to 3 months, and it's really fun. There are a ton of songs in there. I just filmed the videos for it about a week ago with our videographer. So high-tech, fun videos, comprehensive, and an excellent, really lengthy workbook with fun songs, easy songs, more challenging songs later on, and it just builds you up step by step. So that's a really cool resource. If you want to check that out, it's called Teach Your Kid Guitar. I'll put the link down below, and you can get all the info and get on the wait list, because we're going to be releasing it soon. So, well, at time of filming, at time of making this video. If you're watching later, maybe it's already released, and go to the link below and buy it. So that's one extra resource that will give you, like, okay, great, I'm learning this fun free stuff on YouTube. I don't want to just learn free fun things here and there and get little snippets. I want the whole thing. I want to learn how to read sheet music. I want to know timing. I want to understand the basics of music. I want to learn notes on all 6 strings. That course will teach you these notes. So if you want to learn all of those notes, what their letter names are, what they're called, where they, what they look like on a page, so you can read sheet music with other musicians, plus learn 4 more chords. This G that I just showed you, both the mini G and the full G are in the guitar course, and 4 other chords. So more strumming, super fun songs, some songs that you'll know, and some songs that you'll be like, oh, I've never heard this before. So there's a ton of fun stuff in there, and it will be at the link below, so check that out. It'll be more comprehensive video lessons, and it's all online. So the other thing is, if you want a free taste of it, if you want to see what that course will be like, I have a more comprehensive workbook than the free worksheet that I was mentioning before. This one's called The Absolute Beginner's Guide to Guitar, How to Teach Your Kid Their First Song in One Day. I will also put the link for that down below. So your 3 things so far: free worksheet on the G chord, Teach Your Kid Guitar, beginning guitar course, much more comprehensive, like a few months worth of video lessons, go at your own pace, you can use it forever. And then Teach Your Kid Their First Song in One Day, the workbook, that one's 13 pages long, and it has 3 more videos similar to this one that'll teach you how to tune, how to hold your guitar, how to read tabs, and you can learn how to play Star Wars from the Imperial March. That one's totally free, my gift to you, so that's down below also. I hope in this big collection of things that you'll find a few things that are useful and want to follow some of those links and figure out what can serve you well. So again, mini G chord, big G chord, and for a more like close-up where to put all your fingers and some strumming patterns, there's the free printable to go along with this video lesson. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for playing with me. I hope you and your kid had a great time with this and that you were able to learn a fun thing on guitar. So keep making music. Happy playing.